girl. Living in a material world. 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 Boys may come and boys may go, and that's alright, you see. Experience has made me rich, and now they're after me. 'Cause everybody's living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. Living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. A material, a material, a material, a material world. Living in a material world. Living in a material world. Living in a material world. Material.
Good morning. Here we are again, gathered in this sacred space at this sacred time, and so grateful for this opportunity to be together. And I'm so grateful for all of you making it on time this morning in this first day of daylight savings time. And a big thank you to Kaleidoscope, who had to go through some really big shape shifting to be here today in kind of microscope form. Yeah, right? Our opening words are those of Richard Gilbert, who begins with a quote from Dag Hammarskjöld. Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back. Each morning, we hold out our chalice of being to be filled with the graces of life that abound, air to breathe, food to eat, companions to love, beauty to behold, art to cherish, causes to serve. They come in ritual procession, these gifts of life. Whether we deserve them, we cannot know or say, for they are poured out for us. Our task is to hold steady the chalice of our being. We carry the chalice with us as we go, either meandering aimlessly or with destination in our eye. We share its abundance, if we have any sense, reminding others as we remind ourselves of the contents of that chalice we don't deserve. Water from living streams fills it, if only we hold it out faithfully. We give back, if we can, something of ourselves, some love, some beauty, some grace, some gift. We give back in gratitude, if we can, something like what is poured into our chalice of being for those who abide with us and who will follow. Each morning, we hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back. And our time together this morning, may it be a time of receiving, a time of giving back, that we may go out into the world full of joy.
Good morning. And welcome to Unitarian Universalist Church West and to the Path of Joy. It's so good to be together as a loving community, gathering in and among so many different spaces here in the UU-CW Sanctuary and with those of you joining us virtually. At this moment, as always, we are connected. Welcome all. My name is Kristen Bussey, and I serve on your Board of Trustees. Today, we're having a hard conversation about money and shame, and about how having this conversation might lead to us all to more generosity and joy. And because this is the month of our annual pledge drive, pledge campaign. You'll also hear a bit more about that, including another beautiful love letter or two. So here are a few things that may help you settle in. If you're a newcomer in person or with us online, and you'd like to connect further, please talk to me after the service or send an email to visitor@uucw.org, or use the welcome sign of the yellow form that you received when you entered the sanctuary. After story time, children grade 8 and younger will be invited to head off with their leaders to their own space and time, and the nursery is open all through the service. And just a little note, our middle schoolers actually are having a field trip today. They're heading over to the Hindu temple in Pewaukee as an adventure this morning to check out other faiths. There's lots of space to spread out. The carpet anywhere in the room, the worship exploration table at the side, or the community room just outside the doors where the service is streamed. If socializing is for you, there's coffee and tea after the service today. I'll be there and happy to answer any questions you might have. I just want to highlight a couple of announcements in your announcements today. Of course, they're all important, so please read them all, but just a couple to highlight to get us started this morning. SOFIA, which is a coalition of diverse faith communities in Waukesha County, is working together on issues of justice and common good. They're hosting a housing forum, a call to end homelessness with guest speaker Kevin Nye. That's coming up next Saturday, March 18th at 1 p.m. at First United Methodist Church in Waukesha. Registration is free, and the link to register was in Thursday's e-news. Rev. Julie is planning on attending and hopes to see others there from UUCW. By the way, we are a member of SOFIA and are looking for folks to represent our congregation on some of their teams. So please see Rev. Julie or Sue Shalig if you'd like to know more about that. And if you haven't heard, we're looking for a new minister. Every member has the opportunity to nominate members to the search team. The e-news this week had a great article from Jeannie Baker and Rob Zimmerman, and they have a lot of information in there about the process. There's a form available in this week's announcements as well as that e-news article, and you can use that to enter your nomination. Anyone who doesn't fill out that form, expect a call from a member of the board. It really is a privilege to gather together and to attend to things that provide meaning for us in our daily lives. You all are welcome here.
So let's begin singing. Enter, Rejoice, and Come In is number 361 in the gray hymnal. If anyone wants to join in with Dave at the worship exploration table, he's got shakers and music makers there where you can join in making the music. So let's stand, if that works for you, and fill the room with song, joy, and welcome, and Kaleidoscope will lead us. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. There we go. Let's go.
The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Each time we light our chalice, we renew our commitment to this faith. With the spark of a match, we make it new again, as fresh and as exciting as the first day we encountered this spiritual community and realized we were home. Today's chalice lighting words, printed in your order of service, are those of Christian de la Huerta. I invite you to join in reading them with me responsively. The italicized text is for you. We must shine.
We must shine now,
This is the goal toward which we stretch.
step by step,
In our own time, at our own pace.
as our beauty unfolds and our hearts open,
We become gentler and more compassionate.
yet brighter, more empowered, and fearless.
We have been holding on, holding back.
Playing small, hiding our light under a bushel.
Enough of that.
It's time to let go,
We are needed now, all of us.
all of us together.
All those who feel a calling to be who we are to the fullest, to make a difference, to give it all we got. With these words, we acknowledge that all of us are needed. To make a difference, we light this chalice.
There's an extra there.
Good morning. Now, good morning. I'm Dave Cicero, Director of Lifespan Religious Education here at UUCW, and my pronouns are he and his. So it's not uncommon to hear children say that they can't give someone else a gift because they can't buy one, because they don't regularly earn and save money for that. Now, some young people do, and some of those are taught to split up what they earn, one part for saving, one part for spending, one part for giving. But while those of you pledging this month to support UUCW during the coming year can hopefully do that with a monetary gift, it's important, especially for young people for whom that's not possible, to remember that gift giving isn't about how much something costs. So the story I'm reading today to demonstrate that idea is The Gift That I Can Give, written by Kathy Lee Gifford, and illustrated by Julie Seal. It was published by Tommy Nelson and is being read today with permission of HarperCollins Christian Books. And I'd just like to point out, before I start, that Gifford uses the term God when referring to what others of us might instead call the divine, the creative force of the universe, or the spirit of life. So while reading, I'm going to respect the author's choice of this name and hope it doesn't distract you from hearing the rest of the story. However, I am adapting some of the pronouns used to remove any references to this power as strictly male. So the gift that I can give. I'm one of a kind. I'm my very own me, exactly the person God made me to be. When I was small, right from the start, God poured out a gift deep down in my heart. What is this gift to use as I grow? When will I see it? How will I know? Could my gift be a wonderful thing, like having the talent to dance or to sing? Or could my gift be giving my all, helping my team by passing the ball? There's so many good things that I'm really good at. But what if my gift is much different from that? maybe my gift is just to be kind by taking care of stray animals I find. Maybe my gift is to cheer on a friend so they can run that race right to the end. Or maybe my gift is to lend a hand while keeping the beat with the marching band. Or to visit a sick child in a hospital bed. Or to raise some money so hungry kids are fed. Or to give my family an extra big squeeze. Is it possible that my gift is all of these? All God asks me as I grow, love, and live is that I show others the gift I can give. Then, that God will help me find ways to give it away as they live in my heart every moment of every day. Their love is the gift that I can give. So what gifts do you have that you can offer to others? Elementary students today are meeting shortly, and will be using their talents to create gifts that will be given to Robin's Nest, an organization that provides items to foster children to bring with them to their new homes. And so May has agreed to light our lantern. If she could come forward to do that. She'll lead the children out while I ask you to join me in singing them the children's recessional. The words are printed in your order of service. As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go. As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace.
This is Pledge Month here at UUCW, excuse me. Imagine what our joy can do. Last week, Rev Julie spoke about the bright edges of joy that we can find amidst all the clutter and hard stuff in our lives. In keeping with that, our stewardship team is leading small group conversations at cottage meetings, presenting honestly the hard stuff in our church finances, while also lifting up the bright edges of joy to be found in this, our spiritual home. You're really encouraged to attend one of these cottage meetings, whether or not you've already made your pledge for next year, because it's a great way to connect deeply with others about things that matter. Your stewardship team has worked hard to prepare these conversations for you. Please join them. You should have received an email invitation, so please respond to that, or you can ask me or Rev Julie for more information after the service. Or better yet, there's a cottage meeting right here today after the service. Grab the opportunity to be in a conversation with Eva McCroson and others. That's happening at UL3 at 11:30. And during this month, you're encouraged to write a love letter to UUCW, telling this community what it means to you. There are instructions and love stationery in the foyer, and you can also check the e-news for more. Today, both John Dembor and Deb Reich have offered to read us their love letters. John, you first, and then we'll hear from Deb.
Come on up, John.
Right here.
Hey, good morning, everybody. All right, thank you so much for the opportunity to read this letter. UUCW. I wanted, actually, just maybe a quick preface. Reverend Julie was amazing at reading my writing, and I can barely read my own writing. So we have a couple permutations that went back and forth here, and I just want to make sure that I found the right one. She was like, "Does it say this?" And I was like, "Yes, I think it says that, but I can't see it." Even if I said it, I don't know if that would help. All right. Somebody described it as hieroglyphics, and it's probably favorable. All right. UUCW, I wanted to thank you very much for creating such an amazing and wonderful church and community. My family and I have been looking for a home church, and every time we attend here, I know we have found it. I have never felt so accepted, loved, and embraced as I have here. Seeing people that share a vision and mission of social justice is really invigorating and refreshing. Our family is myself, John, my wife, Natalie, and our children, who we're very grateful for the childcare. It's pretty amazing to be without them for an hour or so, although we love them very much. That's very refreshing. Camden and Anders Denboer, who are downstairs. Thank you.
My name is Deb Reich, and this is my UUCW love letter. First, I have to preface this by saying I love how Spirit works. When I come and engage with the church and with all of you, whether it's through music or some other capacity, it never stops amazing me how Spirit works in our lives, and to hear that our Split the Plate partner is Robin's Nest, and they support foster care. There's part of that's in my story. Who knew? So, I was born in 1959 into a family of religious division, my mother's side being Polish Catholic and my father's German Protestant. According to both of my grandmothers, I learned early on that the other side of my family was irreparably flawed and surely going to hell. Being reminded regularly how bad each half of my lineage was from the other side, I unfortunately grew up feeling 100% bad, unlovable, and unworthy. My parents had two older sisters baptized Catholic to appease her side of the family, while my younger brother and I were baptized Protestant for Dad's side. When I was 7, my alcoholic parents split. Dad left to keep drinking, and Mom was hospitalized in an intervention that saved her life. As you can imagine, these were hard times for our family. My maternal grandparents took us in, and under my grandmother's rule, I was baptized a second time as a Catholic in front of my second grade communion class. Very embarrassing, but clearly this religious education lesson was far bigger than I was. My siblings and I were placed in foster care when it became too much for our elderly grandparents to manage. A year or so later, I was moved into a different foster family when the first one proved unhealthy, and in each situation, I faced many challenges and changes and experienced another new religion. Mom regained custody of me and my younger brother when I was 12, but within 3 years, she had relapsed with prescription drugs and was back in treatment. My brother was returned into the foster care system, and I was taken in by my 18-year-old sister. By the time I turned 18, religion was no longer a part of my life. Having already gone through so much at a young age, I disavowed any form of it and chose the path of atheism for a time. I eventually called myself agnostic, and when I became comfortable enough with the notion of a higher power through my own healing and 12-step program work. During this time, I also learned a bit about Judaism and began exploring Eastern religions. Something eventually switched in my mind from all religions being flawed to each having shared and unique insights to the vast mysteries of life. Still, having been exposed to so many religions through the years and not feeling a connection to any one in particular, I didn't think I would ever find a church that fit. But I was longing for a sense of community. I came to UUCW in 2011 through an invitation to sing in the choir with no commitment to join the church. I became a member that same year. I fell in love with the warm, receptive environment, the open-mindedness, non-judgment, non-proselytizing atmosphere. Here I found a place where all are welcome, all are accepted wherever we are on our spiritual or religious paths. We are encouraged to learn and grow, share and act in ways that are life-affirming to self and to others. I answered the call to sit on the Board of Trustees and was voted in as president in 2012, learning and growing as I served. I gratefully received a scholarship to attend UUA's Midwest Leadership School. I shared my growing leadership skills on the nominating committee, worship ministry committee, stewardship committee, and in many other ways. However, in the past 5 years, I've been presented with numerous health challenges, so I don't come to church as often as I once did. But when I am here, I'm always welcomed with open arms, and I so appreciate that my intermittent attendance does not preclude me from being accepted wholeheartedly when I am here. And I greatly appreciate the option to watch services from home, too. Of course, I especially love being here when I get to sing with Kaleidoscope, and that remains my primary spiritual practice and shared ministry for now. I love UUCW for so many reasons. Whether I'm deeply involved or on the periphery as I am currently, I feel very loved and valued here, and I always leave feeling good, much better than when I arrived. Truly, the main reason I love our faith community is because of all the wonderful people who are involved. You are the heart and soul of this church. Thank you all for all that you are and all that you do here and in our world. I love UUCW. I love all of you.
And thank you, Deb, so much for those words. Another one of the ways that we express our love for one another is by sharing of our lives and by helping to hold what is shared with us. We're going to enter now into a time of such sharing joys and sorrows and milestones and gratitudes. So you're invited to come up to the mic to speak, or you can raise your hand and an usher will bring you a mic, and I'll light a candle for you as you share. And just remember that what you share will also be heard and held by those who are with us online. We'll edit out this section of the service before posting it on our website so that you can speak openly and vulnerably just with those who are gathered in this time together. And after each sharing, I'll respond with, "We hold you in love," and invite you all to respond with me. So you can form a line to the side if such a line forms, but please come. Lighting a candle for all who are joining us online, knowing that there are many things that you hold and would share with us, do share with us in spirit. This is for you. Oops. And a candle to represent all that is not spoken today, that's held in the silent sanctuaries of your hearts. May it find peace and comfort there, knowing that you are held in love. So I'm going to invite you into a time of meditative singing. Kaleidoscope is going to lead us. The words for the simple chorus are printed in the order of service. So just please join in as you'd like, and you can remain seated for that.
We traveled long, we traveled far to be right here
all we need is right here. So, why is it so hard to talk about money? This is the name of a piece written by Anna Sale, the host of the podcast Death, Sex, and Money, which is actually one of Reverend Julie's favorites. Sounds kind of you-ish, doesn't it? You know, anybody would be talking about death, sex, and money every week. All right, check it out. It's actually pretty good. So I'm going to share with you some excerpts from that piece. Anna Sale writes, "Money is like oxygen. It surrounds us, flowing in and out of our lives. Money's how we put food on the table, how we take care of people we love, and how we invest in all the things that express who we are. But money is also about so much more than what we buy. For when it comes down to it, money often determines our very worth, in the deepest sense of that word. One of my goals is to help us all be a little more honest about the emotional weight of money. Because, gauche as it may be, money's always there, forcing you to think about what it means to you as a symbol and how you choose to use it, a tool. The risk that stalls most money conversations is our fear of how we'll look compared to the person that we're talking to. We do kind of a sleight of hand to obscure how we're doing financially. For this is true in our most intimate relationships and in national politics. When I'm interviewing people on death, sex, and money about their financial situations, I really try to keep this in mind. I weigh how I'm emphasizing their personal choices against the systems that they're a part of. If I ask too many questions about how someone decided to borrow money to attend an expensive school, for example, am I somehow letting policymakers and college administrators off the hook for shifting so much of the higher education burden onto students and their families? When it comes to money, our political debates tell us that we either condemn the systems and structures or we condemn people's personal decisions. But this is a false choice. Each and every one of us has acquired spending and saving habits, yes. But we're also helped or hurt by generational timing and the wealth or debt that we just happened to be born into. And then, on top of all of that, are the biases about whose work, whose time, and whose ideas are most valuable. Without being specific about the ways all these factors commingle, we chalk up big wins or shameful losses to our own personal characteristics. But that's not quite how money works. The lasting goal of hard money conversations, then, is to identify which parts of our money worries are within our control and which aren't. We make personal money choices in the midst of larger systems. Everything from the cost of housing to tax policy to social safety net priorities. By understanding where each and every one of us are situated in these systems, we can shift some of the mental burden off of our bank accounts. For when you talk about the larger context of your own money situation, it becomes easier both to give and to get help. It's easier to ask for help because your particular challenges, they're not just personal anymore. And it's easier to give help because you see how your good fortune is not just the result of your own cleverness, so we ought to pay it forward. The very best conversations about money reveal the different histories that are part of our financial identities, along with the varied personalities and values that we bring to our financial choices. While it might seem Byzantine that we often have to wade through so many layers just to talk more assuredly about the electricity bill, but that's exactly why money is so tricky to talk about. And that's why the number one rule is this: the best place to start any money conversation is to admit that money is about much more than money.
Thank you, Lori. I do love Anna Sale. I love that she insists on having hard conversations. And if you ever listen to her podcast, you know that she enters into those conversations with really pure compassion and without judgment, with curiosity. She doesn't throw shame or shade. I want to be Anna Sale when I grow up. Truly, I do. Now, last year, I'm told one of the conversation topics at the pledge season cottage meetings was exploring where, when, and how you learned about money, which might have felt like a taboo subject to some of you. I happen to believe that we are all served by being more forthright about money, so let me share a bit of my story. My father was a Baptist preacher who grew up on a very poor farm during the Depression. Learning how to eke out a living served him well, because Baptist ministers don't make much money. When I was a little girl and my dad had a country church, about every Sunday there were eggs and milk and vegetables and sometimes even live chickens in gunny sacks on our doorstep. I swear that my dad's contract provided for some of his meager salary to come in the form of produce. And frankly, my family really needed that food, although somehow we always had enough. And I attribute that to the fact that my dad counted pennies and budgeted fastidiously to feed our family of 8. I, in turn, learned how to count carefully, and perhaps from that got to be a little clingy, if not sometimes stingy. To this day, I keep track of everything that I spend. And my adolescent outlook was that my friends and my cousins, everyone around me seemed to have more stuff than I would ever have. To make it worse, as I entered junior high, we moved to a resort town where the parsonage was in the new section of town amidst the houses of doctors and lawyers. Everyone around me, everyone it seemed, was rich, and I saw our family as poor. And I learned to always compare what I had to what others had and felt that I could never measure up. The lives of those with money seemed so much better than mine, and the fact that we had so little directly correlated to my sense of worth in the world. Now, I also learned as a preacher's kid that a meaningful life was a life of service, and that we, as Christians, were here on earth to be sermons in shoes. Do you know that Bible song? I won't sing it for you. One of the kids' songs in church was, "Here we are being sermons in shoes." A deserving life was one of sacrifice and even martyrdom. And that's kind of a weird combination. It taught me to be resentful in some ways of what was being asked of me, while at the same time finding my purpose in serving without expecting anything in return. So I learned the incredible value of being generous while simultaneously trying to hold on tightly to whatever I have. Are you thinking about how and what you learned about money as I tell my story? I hope so, because it's hard to look at this stuff and to come to terms with really how messed up it can be. I also realize that for some out there, regardless of their socioeconomic status, it's possible to be somehow free and easy with money, and I really envy that. which just offers me another way to compare myself and to come up lacking. Why can't I be that way? Still, pledging and charitable donations are a very big part of my budget. The value of tithing is also something I learned young. I give generously, although of course not as generously as I could, which is just another comparison, right? In a kind of old 2003 article about money and spirit written for the UU World by Dan Hodgkiss, he asks, what does it mean to have a spiritually mature relationship with money? Such a relationship, he says, would mean facing facts rather than denying or distorting them, and taking account of the paradoxes and the ambiguities, the multiple and sometimes maybe always competing values that are associated with finances. Ultimately, a spiritually mature person balances those competing values, not for the sake of compromise, but rather to hold fast to what is good, even when the ends refuse to meet. If religion is meant to mean is to mean anything, according to Hotchkiss, it has to influence the way we make money choices. I'm really with him on this, although it's really a hard conversation to have, even though some of you may seem kind of uninterested, even though when we talk about stewardship or financial sustainability, folks generally either duck and cover or go running. You ever wonder why? Like, why are politics and religion and sex and money taboo subjects in our culture? And why do we believe that? Why have we come to believe that political savvy and sexual literacy are so important, but we don't place that same value on financial literacy? If this religion, this community is to mean anything at all, we have got to talk about money. We can't carry out our most important responsibilities or extend our mission in the world without it. And I know there are lots of reasons for avoiding this conversation. Lack of understanding, finding all things numbers to be dry and uninteresting, feeling pressured to give, not to mention the incredible ways in which money is connected to unexplored emotions. Emotions like shame. It's easiest, I think, to understand shame in relationship to guilt. Guilt is related to having done something wrong. Well, shame is about being intrinsically wrong. There's something wrong with us if we don't have money. That's money shaming. I think somehow we've got money all bollocksed up with meaning it just doesn't have or doesn't need to have, at least if we're clear about our values. Because money and deservedness have no connection to one another. Working hard or pulling oneself up by the bootstraps is no guarantee of wealth. In fact, it's generational inherited wealth that's the greatest indicator of financial security. And generational wealth comes as the result of unjust systems and practices that reward those who already have wealth and perpetuate a lack of opportunity for those who don't. Poverty, my friends, is not the result of laziness or a lack of character. Money and inherent worthiness are absolutely not correlated. Yet it is true that we do not all have equal net financial worth, and that the disparity between the haves and the have-nots is rapidly growing. And that's all the more reason for us to get comfortable talking about money and its power and all the things wrapped up in it, because that's what's going to make it possible for us to begin to untangle all those messy hooks and threads that keep us all bound up and conflicted about it. Something else Anna Sale said in that article is this: we may think we're being polite by staying mum, but there are real costs to evading the reality of money for the sake of social comfort. Talking to colleagues about salary ranges and negotiations helps ensure you're not underpaid. Asking for help when you're in a crisis helps harness financial resources and emotional resources that you wouldn't know about alone. Sharing money stories also exposes the structural forces that enable some people to sail along and cause others to struggle, even while working identical jobs. Honest conversations about money can bring more clarity and maybe even more money, unquote. And while all of this applies to your personal lives and your decisions, wherever, however you're spending your money, however you're feeling about it, it also applies to this congregation. And that's why your board wants to get real honest with you about the financial realities here, not because they're dire, not because we don't have resources, but because you deserve to know. Again, hence the cottage meetings. You are this church, and the finances here are your finances. Money has power, and even more power when we don't talk about it or when we don't see it for what it is. You know, some say, as Anna Sale did, that money is like oxygen. Others say it's a form of energy converted from our efforts, a fungible resource. Some say it's the root of all evil. Others have said that it's the lack of money that's the root of all evil. Money's both a tool and a symbol. Yet, as we all know, money can't buy us love. We can't get rid of money. We live in a material world. But the long-standing inequities in our social systems are something that we can address. You know, gaining awareness of the innumerable ways that consumerist culture hooks us and lies to us about where meaning is to be found. Well, I believe that's within our grasp. Learning together about how to balance all those competing demands that money makes is something we can do together. Leaning into reinforcing the inherent worthiness of each person is our task in the world. In fact, telling kids that they're loved and of our great value just as they are is one of the greatest gifts that we can give. Is there not great joy to be found in this work? I mean, what else is life if it's not the opportunity to find deep meaning and to use our lives in service of that purpose? We can be generous with our love, we can be generous with our resources, and with the guidance of our individual consciences, we can practice generosity without any value judgments except one, and that is to give freely and joyfully from our hearts. Hard conversations held with love and curiosity will help us to gain financial literacy that will benefit our personal decisions and can help to guide this community to navigate the compelling demands and values our finances contain. No one can tell you, and no one should ever judge you about how much of your money or time or talent you should choose to offer here. That's for you to decide, only you. And the role of this community is to gratefully receive whatever you offer. You know, for some reason, the presence of eggs and milk on our doorstep was a great shame generator for me. I'm not exactly sure why. We didn't talk about it. It said to me, you don't have enough to provide for yourself. It said we were a charity case. But you know, just in the process of talking to myself about money and preparing for today, I'm seeing it a little different way. You know, maybe produce was the way some of my dad's congregants could be generous. Maybe they were bringing the best of who they were and what they had to contribute to their religious community. Maybe there was even personal sacrifice in their giving. Maybe they were saying, hey, pastor's family, we love you so much that we're bringing you the fruits of our hard labor. And isn't that what joyful generosity is all about? Saying, here's the best of me. I'm here to give it. I give it in order to participate fully. I give it to be part of all that we can be together. I give it because this place matters. So if this place brings you meaning or purpose or inspiration or support, whatever it means for you, then I guarantee that being as generous as you choose to be with an open heart will bring you joy. Joy, joy, joy. May it ever be so. Amen.
Can't buy me love, love, can't buy me love. Buy you something like bread,
Makes you feel alright.
buy you anything
My friend, it makes you feel alright.
I don't care too much for money, money can't buy me love. If you all I got to give,
Say you love me too.
may not have a lot to give, but what I got, I give to you. I don't care too much for money. No, 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 no. Say you don't need no diamond ring, and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want those kind of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. Can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so. Can't buy me love. No, 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 no. Say you don't need no diamond ring, and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want the kind of things the money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. Can't buy me love. Love can't buy me love.
And thank you to Daniel and Joel in absentia. They recorded that for us because they couldn't be here today.
It's true. There are things that money just can't buy. Yet there are many things we care about where money can really make a difference. Vivint Health, our Split the Plate partner for March, presents an alternative healthcare approach that addresses many of the shortfalls in our national healthcare system. They operate the nation's only recognized HIV medical home. This comprehensive, patient-centered care model is exceptionally successful at helping patients reach a suppressed viral load, allowing them to live a long, healthy life while limiting spread of the virus. Here's a video from Vivint Health that explains how doing the right thing for patients has a direct benefit for the individual patients, the community in which they live, and saves money for the national healthcare system.
No one else is like us, and that is elevating what we're able to provide for clients in this community. We can shorten the amount of time that someone has to deal with confusion, nervousness, stigma, fear, and we can also speed up the amount of time that it takes to get from diagnosis to a suppressed viral load. And that has major benefits for the person because we're preserving their immune system, preserving their health. But it also has major implications for the community because the faster we can get someone from their diagnosis to an undetectable viral load, we know that they can't any longer transmit HIV to anyone else. And this is the opportunity that's transformative. Having been involved in an integrated care model before I came here, I was already a believer, but I didn't know how much more we could accomplish. And here in this setting, I've seen multiple times a person walk in the door, get their HIV test, find out their result, meet with a linkage to care case manager in person, walk around the corner into the medical clinic, see the doctor for the first time, get their labs drawn, get their first prescription for antiretroviral medication, walk down the hall to the pharmacy, and walk out the door with their meds that day. Never seen that before. See it all the time here.
Wow. Just wow. Here at UUCW, Split the Plate is our way to fulfill our UU values and reach out to the community. If you are participating virtually, go to our website, uucw.org, click on Donate, and select Split the Plate from the menu. Or you can text or mail your donation today using the information found here. I thank you for your generosity to Vivint Health. We will now gratefully accept your offering.
Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night. When the sale comes first and the truth comes second, just stop for a minute and smile. Why is everybody so serious? Acting so damn mysterious. Got shades on your eyes and your heels so high, you can't even have a good time. Everybody look to the left, everybody look to the right. Can you feel that? Yeah, we'll pay you with love tonight. Not about the cha-ching, cha-ching, all about the yeah, ba-bling, ba-bling. Wanna see the world dance. Forget about the price tag. We got this part. La 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 la, hey. 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 La 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 la. Not about the money, money, money. We're happy for your money, money, money. So I don't want the world dance. Forget about the price tag. It ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about yeah, ba-bling, ba-bling. Wanna see the world dance. Forget about the price tag. See, that's why I love you guys. You still like clap. You're awesome.
And that's why we love you too. These words were written by Jessica Lynn. We make it possible. I come on Sunday feeling weary, having worn out the snooze button on my alarm clock. I come on Sunday feeling frightened, having seared my eyes reading the latest news. I come on Sunday feeling burdened, having fretted about my workday worries. But I leave Sunday service feeling refreshed, having been renewed by the spirit of love in the community that exists here. I leave Sunday service feeling whole, feeling lifted up by the words of righteous challenge. I leave Sunday service feeling energized, ready to continue our fight for peace and justice. This haven, this refuge, this place of worship and wonder exists because we make it so. With our contributions, the gifts of our time, our skills, our food, our love, our laughter, and our money. Thank you for joining me in giving so that we may continue to have a place that fortifies and challenges us and gives us love.
You guys good over there? Yeah. Are you okay?
Changing which song we're going to reprise.
Okay. So who here was or is a Kate Wolf fan? We're going to close with her beautiful song, Give Yourself to Love. Again, Kaleidoscope will lead us, and you all can join in on the chorus, and those words are printed in the order of service. So please rise in body and or spirit to sing.
love is what you're after, open up your heart to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked the mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But the exalted sunrise, cloudy day, you stand before me now. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born of fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will not be your greatest teacher, your best friend you have made. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
So beautiful and joyful to have spent this time together. I invite you to just take a look around, offer a prayer of gratitude for all the blessings that you have, all the blessings in this room, in this community that we love. Our closing words were written by Caitlin Cotter Coilberg as they left their former congregation. It's called A Minister's Farewell, which are words of blessing that can be shared anytime. And so I offer them to you now. Beloveds, may love guide you on your journey forward, joy meet you at every turn, and hope be your daily practice. May gratitude companion you, compassion embolden you, and open-hearted courage be your unending choice. May peace challenge you, dear ones, generosity empower you, and may you know in every day that you are enough just exactly as you are, and you are not alone. Blessed be, Ashe, and Amen.
One more time.
You're going to do a do-over, so Kelly can put this online. They'll never know any different out there.
Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night. When the sale comes first and the truth comes second, just stop for a minute and smile. Why is everybody
everybody so serious, acting so damn mysterious. You got shades on your eyes and your heels so high that you can't even have a good time.
Everybody look to the left, everybody look to the right. Can you feel that?
Yeah, we're paying with love tonight. Not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just want to see the world dance. Forget about the price tag. It ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the ba-bling, ba-bling. Want to see the world dance. Forget about the price tag. We need to take it back sometime. When music was all you nice. And it wasn't love blows and videos. Am I the only one getting tired?
Why is everybody so obsessed?
Money can't buy us happiness. Can we all slow down and enjoy right now? Guarantee we'll be having a time.
Everybody look to the left, everybody look to the right.
Can you feel that? Yeah, here with the love tonight. Not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just want to see the world dance. Forget about the price tag. It ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the bling, bling. Want to see the world dance. Forget about the price tag. You know this part. La 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 la. Hey, 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 la la la. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just wanna see the world dance. Forget about the price tag. It ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the ba-bling, ba-bling. Wanna see the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Thank you for hanging in there with us on that second time.